Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's JT, and I am here. Y'all know why we are here. We are here to discuss, to recap the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This is episode 7. We are moving on along here, and I love it. So just to recap the episode, looks like we are still in Newport. This is day 2 of Newport, kind of the aftermath of the shenanigans that happened the previous night, where Kelsey and Joellen decided to pull up and roll up on Rosie and Ashley. So the house, I can appreciate the luxury of it all. I can appreciate the history of it all. This is a house that I 100% from the depths of my soul, from my spirit, would never the fuck stay in, all right? This house is creepy. This house, the furniture looks creepy. It's given secret passageways. It's given secret doorways. It's given there's a trap door underneath the carpet, the floor mats, the rugs. It's giving Scooby Doo and the gang. This is where they would hunt and look for the mystery, the murder mystery people. It's given I would never stay here. And Alicia, I can appreciate a quirky friend that has all these quirks about themselves and they're, so eclectic and stuff like that. Baby, them dolls would have had to stay the fuck at home.
Throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch!
You're not bringing those dolls to this environment where I'm already paranoid. Like they kind of talk about at breakfast. Rosie was like, yo, did you hear that laughter? No.
It's not happening tonight. Tonight.
No. Matter of fact, maybe that's why Rulla ain't show up, because Rulla was like, I'm not dealing with that bullshit. Because all these other women are Caucasian. Okay, you know what? I'm off topic. Let's get back to it, okay? So like I said, we see Alicia. She's talking to her dolls again. Baby girl, baby girl. Baby girl. Baby. I rebuke it. Oh, Shivabashi, I rebuke it. Bitch, I rebuke it. We're not doing it. Okay. All right. I'm back. So the ladies are kind of on the phone with their husbands. We see Rosie talking to Rich. We see Joellen talking to her man. Was I the only one that kind of caught how Kelsey came in the bed and she was like, "Hey, Gary," and like from the angle of the camera, it looked like Kelsey was throwing her ass in the goddamn camera frame of the FaceTime call. But that's just something that I caught. I got my good eye on Kelsey. But we get to Rosie. Rosie's talking to her husband, and she's telling her husband about the events of the night. And her husband said she's projecting. She's mad at you because she don't have no property. She don't have no job. And I'm like, thank you. But see, Rosie, we're gonna have to have a conversation because I'm trying to ride for you. And Joellen too. I'm trying to ride for you too. Both of y'all have done some stunts. But Rosie, you have so much confessional gangster energy. I need for you to say to these women's faces, like, because you said it in the confessional last week. Say it to her face. But I guess it doesn't matter because y'all basically kind of buried the hatchet for a minute. But the ladies kind of go down to breakfast, and Rosie tells us that she does not feel well. She's feeling nauseous. She was feeling nauseous all night. Alicia was like, "Did you hear her throwing up all night?" Alicia being everybody damn business. That house is too damn big for you to be hearing Rosie throwing up all night. Alicia being everybody. Alicia is just in everybody's business. But anyway, the women are kind of just at the table talking about what they're going to be doing today. And then we have Alicia, we have Rosie, we have Ashley, we have Liz at the table. And then in comes Kelsey and Joellen. And again, Rosie, in the confessional, you like rat-tat-tat-tat. In person, you like, oh, Kelsey doesn't want to speak to me. Okay, I'll just eat my yogurt here. Then you called the girl, what did you call her? Her a high end squatter. You ate with that, but again, have the same energy in person. So they, long story short, they kind of come to the table, and Liz is like, no, Alicia. Again, Alicia was like, yo, so did you feel like, Kelsey, did you feel like you got everything off of your chest? And Kelsey was like, yeah, look, I did not mean it in a way that came off as what it is. I feel like you took it that way. And Ashley all of a sudden has clocked in and was like, no, 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 no. The way you presented that was in a very much passive aggressive way. It was not supposed to come off as that. And Rosie kind of just sitting there. So Ashley has tapped in. Ashley has tagged in. She is fighting Rosie's battle for her because this goes to the conversation that they had a few episodes ago. And she's sticking up for her girl Rosie. But Rosie, you got to stick up for yourself. 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 Otherwise, these women are going to run over you. But I felt the way watching this scene, and then I felt the way watching the next scene because, again, Liz, use another one that I gotta watch because as they're talking, y'all are so defensive of Kelsey. Y'all are defending Kelsey so bad that you're like, no, you were the one. As far as talking to Rose, like you were the one that took it away. She didn't mean it that. She didn't mean it that. And it's like, y'all can't tell this woman how she's supposed to feel in that moment because that moment it did come off as shady. And I'm still going to stand on it. It was a shady comment, especially when you have said this whole time how much you don't like Rosie and how much every time she walks to the room, you roll your eyes and just stare at her like you don't like her because you still feel a way about the whole her not posting your hairstyle that you did for her. She didn't like it. It was raggedy. Get over it. But Liz came in and was like, no, you're the one, Rosie. Again, they're kind of still trying to gaslight this woman. And Ashley chimes back in. It's like, y'all need to have a little bit more empathy as it relates to Rosie. And then Ashley starts to cry. Ashley, I don't know, baby. This housewife thing might not be for you. You see how I had just gave you a compliment a few minutes ago? It was like, you tagged in, you clocked in, baby. You need to tag the out. This ain't for you, baby. This is not for you because why are you crying? Now, Joel, and this is why I got to talk to you, baby, because as they said that, as far as like give some kind of compassion to Rosie, you're like, yeah, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of person. Now, Joellen, as we have been watching this show, all you have talked about is how you have had lack of empathy and compassion from your mother. So, although I know you said you are doing this it differently as it relates to your children, you need to apply that to your life as it relates to being a friend because you can't look at somebody that wants to express emotion or needs to kind of be you got to soften your blow as it relates to them and then look at them as like they're weak or something and saying, well, yeah, no, I don't do that. Well, if that's the case, then nobody care about you and your mother rekindling your relationship or you trying to get empathy from her. Like if you say you want to change the narrative, you want to change the story, then you have to apply that across all platforms. You have to apply that with all relationships with people. So like Joellen, you my girl, but I'm docking 10 points.
You out of order.
Yeah, I ain't like how you did that. And Liz, I already kind of expected you to be on that again because that's how Dolores, your evil twin sister is. So I kind of already expect you to do that, but you also be going back and forth with that because in some moments I feel like you're just trying to go so hard for Kelsey right now that you're purposely being willfully obtuse. Um, yeah, Liz, Joelle, and Kelsey, all y'all are weird. So we fast forward, the ladies talk about what they're going to be doing today. And then we kind of have a different breakout section because they're, again, Rosie's saying she's not feeling well. So then Joellen tells Kelsey, it's Joellen and Alicia and Kelsey, I believe. And then Joellen is saying, hey, maybe I should just have a one-on-one conversation. Maybe that will help better. So Kelsey goes to talk to Rosie. We have Ashley eavesdropping, and Kelsey's basically like, "Look, I have resting bitch face. My delivery sometimes is a little harsh, but I really do want to be friends. I want to try to get past this and move forward." And of course, Rosie folds. baby, you can't talk about me. Like just how I expect Rulla and Joellen to not be friends like that, because it's like, cool, you I understand my husband did all this, but baby, you didn't put a lot of my business on TV. So I could never really rock with you like that. I would it would do the same with Kelsey. So I feel like these women are just like, it's the first season. We want to make sure we have something going on for season two. Let me just make up with this and just move on. But as we see that does not last, because we've seen the previews of kind of what happens the rest of the season. So this is their attempt at trying to bury the hatchet. Good for them, I guess. And so Alicia and Joellen are going to go for a walk. They're like, look, this house is big, but you need your space away from people. So we see that the man comes and picks them up. He makes a little comment about how he used to live in that house when he was in college. The house was haunted. They heard voices. Again, could not be me. One thing I did forgot to mention was how Liz and Alicia kind of had butted heads a little bit earlier at the breakfast table when Alicia was trying to, I don't know if she was trying to defend. She made a comment about like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, and it was like, maybe it's like an alter ego thing when they were talking about Rosie. And then Alicia kind of, I'm sorry, and Liz kind of chopped her head off a little bit. But I think where that still stems from is Liz is still feeling a way that for some reason when Alicia shared her experience in her life, her actual story, that Liz was like, you didn't grow up like that. And in the confessionals, Alicia does mention how Liz is just trying to protect her family, as far as Alicia's family for some reason. So Liz, this whole little mafia again, mob boss thing that you and Dolores, you definitely really are giving Dolores 2.0. Because I go tell that woman her story. I don't care how long you've known her. You don't know what her situation was when she was at her grandparents' house. But anyway, to the meat of the of this segment was the walk between Joellen and Alicia, because Joellen talks about how, again, her mother sent her away to her first detention center when she was in the seventh grade. And Alicia was like, yeah, I remember that because your sister went first. So Alicia has went to high school with these girls. Alicia knows everybody. Okay, she's like, yeah, I remember that because your sister went first and then you went. And Joel was like, yeah. So when I went the first time, it was for drug. There was supposed to be like a drug facility. They realized I was supposed to be there, so they sent me back home. She also mentions that like her mom originally sent her because she felt like she was like too promiscuous. Like she wasn't a girl that was, out here like that, but she had big boobs. And her mom just basically thought she was too promiscuous. So even though she wasn't doing nothing, she sent her away to those detention centers. The second time she said it was worse, but she said the third time was the worst because that's when she was there with people that were like harming themselves. She was there with male and female predators. Um, and it's just really sad. She also mentions kind of how that the reason why her mom wanted to come and get her was because the state was going to take full custody, but they had partial custody um, during that time, her third stint there. And then Alicia was like, yeah, we remember that because in high school, we know that y'all just left at the middle of the year, but we didn't know why. So this is like their first time really talking about this. She talks about how when she was with last night from the taking off the mask ceremony, how when Alicia brought up her father, that kind of made her feel like a little bit more relatable, and they were able to. She felt more comfortable to talk about this. And then Alicia also shares in this conversation how maybe one of the reasons she doesn't want to get married is because her father, who will walk her down the aisle. And I mean, it was definitely a powerful conversation. I definitely felt both of the women talking. Joellen also mentioned that it's like, look, so I'm kind of as I'm thinking, because I'm just trying to, I have my points. I'm trying to recap the conversation, but I also kind of want to just add my 2 cents as far as like my opinion about it. Joellen talks about how she, um, maybe enough therapy isn't always going to be the thing that gets you over this. Maybe just kind of releasing it and expressing to the person. And I really hope that she's able to do that because one thing about it, Joella's mother, I don't give a damn how people try to reinvent themselves as a grandmother. Joella's mom would not be able to be near my damn kids if you done some stuff like that. Now, again, I understand, we learn as we get older in life, but if you haven't done the steps on your end to try to make amends as it relates to the situation, if you would not be able to be around my damn kids, like especially if it sounds like using me for like some kind of state benefits, or you didn't want to be a parent. I don't know whatever it is. And I find it interesting too how we find out in this scene that Joellen's sister actually was also sent there. Um, but we see kind of how Joellen's sister's relationship is with the mom now. So very interesting stuff. Very heavy, very heavy. Um, I think the takeaway is all relationships sometimes are not meant to be mended. If it works for you to get it off your chest, by all means. But a person like me, baby, we could never, ever, 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 ever come back from that. And then it's so crazy because Joellen talked about how because Alicia was like, "Oh my God, I love your mom," blah blah blah. And she's like, "Yeah, that's the facade that all these that moms give. They give like, and we've all experienced that with like parents. Come on now, like." Our moms are like a different version of themselves when it's just us versus when your friend is over at the house and then they just y'all know the little Cleo meme from the uh the Queen Latifah meme of like her all dressed up in red and she's like in a dress and then her as Cleo shooting out the car and it's like this is the difference between your mama at home and then your mama when your friend is over. Like they all do that. So it's crazy and that's why I'm back on Liz. Like Liz, how you gonna tell Alicia what her experience was when you wasn't in the house with her all the time? Like just because you've known me since I've been born does not mean you know my story. Like get the fuck out my face, Liz. Liz. You kind of on my list. You kind of on my list. Are you on my watch list? I don't know about you, Liz. I don't know. All right. So just when I was wondering if she was gonna get paid for this episode, we are at Rulla's house because the ladies again. Alicia received a text message while she was on her way back to the haunted house. She received a text message from Rulla saying, baby, I haven't been feeling good. So then we get to Rulla's house and Rulla has a full face of glam. Rulla has her wig is down, it's laid, she's giving us the theatrics as she's in bed. She's like, oh my God. Oh. And Brian is in there with the kids and they are drawing these fuck ass artworks that they're gonna give to Rulla. It's all given staged. It's all given staged. And Rulla tells us that she had to have an MRI. She had to have a CAT scan. She's had migraines. Sensitive to light. She can't smell. She was trying to see if she had one of the diseases that hasn't been discovered yet. She had to have surgery. She could possibly have antibacterial inflammatory respiratory infection.
What a coincidence! What a coincidence!
She can have she's like I said, her eyes are bleached white. She can't hear straight. She is sensing and smelling out of her ears. It's all of the things. And if you've watched this channel, I am new here, I know you know what meme is coming. You know what I'm about to insert in 5, 4, 3. Have you guessed yet? 2, 1.
Yeah. Where is your scooter? Where is your scooter? Where is it?
Where is it? Where is it? You had all these goddamn diseases. Where is it? Rulla, shut up. I don't believe this. This is giving very much so. I don't want to leave home yet because I don't trust your ass, Brian. So I'm going to fake an illness or I'm going to pretend as though something is wrong with me so I don't have to go on this girl's trip and find out more about your escapades. Because if you were able to leave me at the pizzeria and immediately go to your mistress's house, then you would do anything.
What a coincidence! What a coincidence!
So again, the ladies are back at the house and I do not believe a damn thing about Kelsey because they get the butlers to, get in their swimsuits and do the water slide with them. And then they ask one of the butlers, how old are you? And he says 23. And Kelsey's like, oh, we're 10 years older than you. Kelsey, I thought you was 31. Kelsey, if 1 + 1 is Kelsey, my eyes on you, Kelsey. Liz feels the type of way because she's like, look, I can be these women's mother. I can't relate to that. me flirting with these young 22, 21-year-olds, 23-year-olds is not on my book on my things to do. So, I'm about to go up there. She seemed like she had an attitude about it. It's like, okay, y'all have a water slide, whatever. Ashley goes to check on her. They have a little bonding moment. Joellen and Alicia come back. And, they're about to just get ready to go out to the boat. But we find out in the car on the way to the boat that Ashley's son Dawson is having some kind of breathing issues, and she's definitely stressed out about it. My question to you is this, Ashley, because you've presented the storyline that you and handsome Squidward have basically all his time is in the restaurant. That's the coffee shop, the restaurant, whatever that you feel is failing. However, why did he choose to go out of town and take a break from work when you were going out of town to work, basically? So the kid is with her mom, and he's out of town as well. So where he at? Because you're letting us know that y'all don't have time to do anything together because he's always working. So why did he take the opportunity to go on a trip the same time you took the opportunity to go on a trip? And now you feel like you got to rush back home, even though you're not far. I guess you're like 30 minutes away. But even though you got to rush back home to get to your kids, like, where is he at? There's a lot of missing elements to this stories. So yeah, we fast forward that they get to the boat, and then Ashley, she gets the call saying, "Hey, my dad is a doctor. He's saying they need to take Dawson to the hospital." So she starts crying. She leaves the boat. Now, an interesting other scene that I found very interesting, because again, that's why I feel like there's some missing pieces of something, or maybe it's I don't know. Kelsey kind of was like, "Yeah, so Joellen, you used to sleep with. I heard you had sex on a boat with my ex's brother." And Joellen was like, "Bitch, that wasn't on the boat. What are you talking about?" And then Joellen also kind of talks about, "Well, look, I was promiscuous in my 20s." So it's like, okay, I understand that when all that stuff happened to you, and I understand how trauma can work, not saying, something causes you to be this, and this. But it's like, okay, you were just talking about recently how, I don't know. Look, I'm not touching that. I'm not about to talk about no woman named sexual fluidity. Live your life, okay? We all out here living our life. So I if it's the same episode, just comparing the previous scene and then this scene, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then Joellen was like, "Baby, because they was like, which brother was better in bed?" Joellen was like, "Baby, I don't know. Ask Kelsey." So Kelsey, it's given you've been out here spreading it low and laying it, spreading it low and laying it wide, or whatever the terminology is.
Allegedly.
All of this is allegedly.
Okay.
But I mean,
Kelsey, and then we kind of get like a little break of Joellen talking to Kelsey and Alicia talking to Rosie. And the gist of it is Kelsey and Rosie have decided to let bygones be bygones and just move forward with their relationship. We all know how that happened, how that turns out. So whatever. And then we get back to the house, and then we get this dramatic, cinematic shot of Joellen. She's on the balcony. The wind is blowing. The fire is lit behind her. And then Liz comes and she's like, "Joellen, what's wrong?" And then Joellen's like, "You know how when we were at the polo event and I asked Rulla if she wanted me to get proof? Well, I have proof." Liz is like, "Oh my God, wow, that's him. We have to tell the other ladies." So they go in because they're trying to have like a little pajama wind down night. Like I said, Ashley's already left. So when they get into the room, Liz and Joella sit down in there, and Alicia and Rosie like, "Oh my God, y'all like y'all just saw a ghost. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What happened? What's up?" And then Liz is like, "Release the hound." Now, Liz, it's not lost to me that you low key look like Yzma.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Because when you said "release the hounds," I thought of "Pull the Lever, Kronk," and I don't know why. I don't know why. Listen, moving on. So yeah, Joellen's like, "Look, here's video of Brian." So again, Detective Joellen, she goes over to the couch and showed him, like, "Remember we was at the polo event? Yeah, okay, boom, 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 look at this." And the ladies are watching the video like, "Hey, Brian, yep, that's his ass. Yep, that's his car." And Rosie asks a valid question, like, "Joellen, how did you get this information? Because I'm not really concerned about what Brian is doing because we know he's a hoe. How did you get this, and what did you plan on doing with this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm friends with someone who's friends with the mistress. Again, this city is way too small for me." And she's like, I asked if there was proof, and she said, "Oh, there's plenty of proof." So Brian's getting set up, and that's his own fault. That's his own fault, clearly, because why is somebody recording all this? But listen, call it out, call it out. Um, Joellen tried to do a little Uno reverse on Alicia, because Alicia's over there studying the video. Look, Alicia is the one that knows everybody's business, so she's over there like, let me add this to my file cabinet, let me add this to my memory bank. And they like, look, Alicia, you got to be the one to do this, because if it comes from me, then it's gonna be like I'm attacking her. And Liz like the same thing. It's gonna be the same over and over if it comes from me. So all the ladies in the confessional like, not gonna be me. Um, so we see that in the previews, Alicia does take the captain, take the lead, and say, okay, I'm gonna be the one to do it. And then you do it at the lady's house at dinner while he's there.
Messy boots.
Messy. Overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 3. It was a lot of filler scenes, like the whole water slide thing could have really honestly been left out. The only thing I really got from that was Kelsey's line about her damn age. I feel like, I feel like we got a lot about Joellen and Alicia. This was a very Joellen heavy episode, so I'll give it that. But I'll give it 3 flames out of 5. Uh, Again, still a good episode. It ended great as far as for a build up for next week. So yeah, there you have it. This has been my review for this episode. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. That is IG JT Lit, JTEELIT. And on TikTok is JT Talking Lit at the moment. Make sure you like the video, comment, share, subscribe, engage with your boy. And yes, I will see y'all same time next week. Peace.